Alright guys, so I'm going to get you up to speed. The last video we did kind of a pre-prep before you're going to a new lake. Now we're out here. I've actually done a little bit of driving around and I've saved hours of boring video content and kind of found some fish here. So it's actually on one of these big basin points, or one of these big basin stretches of the lake with some basically 15 to 25 foot, kind of like a flat type deal. We'll show you that on the map, but we're coming in here and we're looking for fish right now. And this is the biggest fooler in this lake, because I was kind of looking for sweet spots of concentrated fish, and we're just really honestly not seeing that. So you can see we're coming into real sandy out here. There's not a lot of deep rock, and we're seeing a lot of stuff that looks basically just like this right here. So here on sonar we get a real close blip to the bottom. Down imaging confirms that it is a fish, and that's generally not a big fish, but it is probably a walleye. You know, we're not seeing a ton of them, so they're not looking like bluegills or anything like that. I'm gonna go back to my side imaging here. You know, I'm not seeing a whole lot right now. Actually, a couple more out to the left over here. So I'm gonna kind of hook back through. And this is the biggest fooler where I spent basically driving around for hours looking for fish. It's just that I'd see like one over here, two over here, and I couldn't really connect the dots. But basically, like I said, what we're on here is just a big, long kind of pump complex with a whole bunch of saddles through it. It's got probably 40 feet of water over here and deep water on this side too. And there's a targetable amount of fish here. It's not going to be on a casting bite. It's not going to be on a jigging bite or a slip power bite. Pretty much trolling's the only way where I can cover enough water to get my bait in front of enough fish. And we're side imaging a few of them. We'll see if we mark any here. Again, coming back through. Not seeing much yet, and basically what I'm doing is kind of when I see a couple of fish in an area, I'm taking and I'm dropping a waypoint on those fish. So here's two marks, one's 15 down, one's, you know, right in that same zone. This is a good interpretation of why you would always want to run down imaging and sonar at the same time. On sonar they don't pick up real hard, down imaging they do. So we'll throw in a couple more screenshots. You know, I just came across the point, I saw this right here. You know, there's a bunch of walleyes sitting right on basically this tip of this saddle. And you know, like I said, we're gonna put some spinners out and troll them. It is absolutely 100% super flat, super hot out today, and there's no way we're probably gonna get them to bite on a crankbait. So we're gonna get some spinners out and we'll catch back up with you. All right guys, well, we just set up to start running down this path that we kind of looked at, and we have something small on, but oh my gosh, you guys, it isn't the correct kind of fish. It's a very small one. Look at that cute little walleye right there on the old pink spinner. So I guess we didn't get skunked today, but this is kind of the start. I mean, at least one of them's a walleye, so we're gonna let that guy go and hopefully dial it in and catch something more quality than that. All right guys, so you know, we just caught that one fish and I've kind of been looping around a whole bunch more, and we're about to go start our second pass. But one thing I've been doing is whenever I'm seeing fish, I'm dropping waypoints basically down on this flat, basically wherever I'm seeing fish, whether that's on side imaging or sonar or anything like that. Or if I see like a little bit of rock, there's not a lot of rock out here, so if I see good rock in, you know, 15 to 20 feet, I'll drop a waypoint on that as well. So basically what you can do after you've done that and done a couple of passes, like we've only caught one fish right now, we're still trying to figure it out, but you can see when we start into this pass, you know, I've marked fish right here, marked a bunch of fish through this little thing here, marked fish over here. Some of these, you know, are pods of fish, other ones are good rock, but it makes it real easy for me to kind of connect the dots through my next pass to kind of keep me in fish the whole way. You know, trolling like this, these are very kind of small areas that are holding fish. It's not really a sweet spot, but it's kind of like where these fish tend to roam a little bit more, because there's no real defining piece of structure out here where they're relating to. It's not like this one tip with a big boulder, this one weed edge or something like that. So they're roaming around real tight. So basically by plotting waypoints, either on good structure or mainly good pods of fish, it kind of lets me connect the dots and run that trail through where these fish are traveling down this reef, and hopefully catch us a bunch more walleyes. All right guys, so I just caught that real small walleye, our first one. And I actually had a few more bites that fish just didn't hook up on. And I don't know if it's because they're just biting short, which is kind of what they're doing in Hayward too, especially on days like this. But one tip I use a lot, especially if I'm fishing for, I know they're smaller fish or if they're biting short, is I'll take a real small mosquito hook like that, super sharp, smaller hook, and run that as a trailer as opposed to these larger octopus hooks that most spinner rigs come with. I'll cut that back hook off. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tie this right around the shank of this hook right here. And this is 15-pound fluoro, so it's tough. It's not gonna break or anything like that. And you can basically just tie kind of like a double uni basically Pretty simple, bunch of loops. Run back through the eye on these. Stay with me here, we'll show you the finished product in a second. Once you got it like that, you basically just put that through there, just through the shank of the hook, and then you're gonna start cinching it up. Now what you have is basically a much thinner diameter stinger hook on your crawler harness. Now the thing with hooks that a lot of people don't understand, like obviously you want sharp hooks, right? Sharp hooks are pretty much everything, but what a lot of guys don't think about is hook diameter. So the thinner a hook is, the higher tendency it has to penetrate with less power. So by adding this stinger hook, and it doesn't really matter how long you make that lead, you can kind of double it back like that. Basically what you have is a much stickier, smaller back hook, because it's a lot thinner diameter. It's a lot easier to puncture the fish's mouth, especially at a low speed like crawler harness fishing, when these fish aren't really smacking baits. So I think we finally found the fish. I think we're finally re-rigged now, and we should have a much higher hookup ratio like this. All right guys, coming down a little bit farther, and we got another one on. It is definitely starting to come together. This one is definitely bigger than the first one, which was my biggest fear, is that we just weren't gonna catch a quality walleye today. But I mean, it is unbelievably hot out here, unbelievably flat. Boaters everywhere. Oh my gosh, Shelby.
Is it, do you need the
No.
net?
I mean, he's not that big, but it's a big success for today.
Okay, good. Nice.
We did it, Shelby. You're suntanning, but
Yes.
this is huge success for me right now. Big time success. The bite up here has not been good. Like it's been a rough go at just walleye fishing as a whole lately. Especially when you have days like this. I mean, look at this, not a ripple on the whole lake. Flat as can be, pleasure boaters everywhere. And we got it done, there we go. We're gonna try to catch a few more of these guys and break down a little bit of our presentation and show you guys what we're doing. All right guys, so we're trolling these real tight contours. You know, we've kind of already located our fish and we've got a couple now. Basically what we're doing, I'm stacking rods up to run this tight kind of section right where the fish are. So basically the way I like to do this, you can see I'm running 4 rods. They're all down rods, and I'm pulling bottom bouncers on every one. So basically what I'm doing is on my outside rods, my 2 outsides, I'm running 1 ounce weights, and I'm running those at about 65 feet to kind of get me in the zone. On my other rods here, the uprights in the back, I'm running those straight back, kind of at that angle there, so I can tell when I got to fight fish or when I'm hitting bottom or whatever. And on those I'm running 2 ounces to get those down real quick. So I got only about 30 feet down on these 2 ounces. And this is a great way when you're trying to cover kind of a real tight section of water to basically spread stuff out, or keep stuff real compact but keep it all fishing too. So run those heavier ones straight down the middle, the lighter ones on the outsides, and you guys are going to be able to kind of run the same kind of real tight program that we're doing right now. Do we?
Think so?
Look at that.
Small.
Oh my gosh, it is the right kind though.
Whoop.
He might go 15.
All right, here's number 3. It's been kind of slow, but I'm glad we are catching some.
All right guys, well, we are gonna get out of here. I know we only caught 3 fish. We lost a couple fish. This is kind of the reality to these new lake things. You know, we didn't get out here till 11. It's about 5 o'clock now, but we gotta go. Spent a whole bunch of time looking around and not find the right stuff. I was seeing walleyes, just not concentrated. So the spinner rig deal was the thing. You know, I caught all 3 fish that we caught, and it just wasn't that good of a bite. You know, I was staring at them all day. Here's some more screenshots. Here's some walleyes over here. Here's some walleyes here. Here's some walleyes here. I know I'm around fish, and look at this day. This is exactly how Hayward's been fishing, and pretty much everywhere I've been fishing on, a lot of days it looked just like this. Incredibly hot, incredibly flat, very tough bite, but this day's an absolute success for me. You know, I don't have a lot of days off, so we kind of put ourselves out there when we try to do these new lake things, because generally it does take a day to do. But we found fish, we found the depth they were at, we were sure they were walleyes, and we caught some walleyes, and we got 1 legal fish. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video is useful to you, and stay tuned for more. We hope to do a lot more of these new lake things. In fact, maybe drop some comments below on where you guys would like to see us go next and pick apart. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.